A double downgrade is sending shares of U.S. Steel lower today. Bank of America analyst Timna Tanners saying the company is a victim of Steel-mageddon. Timna joining us now from New York. Let's talk more about Steel-mageddon. I mean, Timna, listen, it's not just you, but many analysts had high price targets on U.S. Steel. I think it's been 5 downgrades in the last couple of days. What's happened? What has reversed so violently in the steel market and with U.S. Steel?
Yeah, sure. It's definitely a function of the near-term steel environment that's led us to the downgrade. Because before, even while we anticipated quite a bit of steel coming on in the next 2 years, as you said, Steel-mageddon, in the near term, we had said, okay, prices should go up. Seasonally, demand improves. Imports are weak, partly because of Section 232. And also, higher iron ore prices tend to drive higher steel prices. However, in the last couple weeks, or really since the beginning of the month, it's been apparent that steel prices are falling. They're totally decoupling with some of the trends in the rest of the world. And it's a function of, I think, a little too much supply, a little less demand than expected, and just a lack of discipline from the mills.
Yeah, a lack of discipline. I know they had a company-specific issue. They had a closing of the coke plant. I certainly understand that. Is there any indication, though, that rolled steel prices, that steel prices generally as a commodity, are going to move higher anytime soon?
Well, Chinese rebar prices are already in an uptrend, so that's happened. They're nowhere near where they were last year. Of course, that was really that's a tough comp. But I think that steel prices globally are starting to tick up, but it's a function of the cost push of iron ore for the most part. And what we've seen, like I said, is that the U.S. is decoupling with the world because the U.S. doesn't consume global iron ore, and the U.S. has more of an oversupply problem than the rest of the world seems to right now.
Yeah, anything in the steel sector at all, Timna, that looks attractive to you? Is there anybody that you say we should be buying? Obviously not U.S. Steel.
Yeah, in the near term, we think it's less compelling than we thought. Certainly the best end market right now seems to be construction. So the ways to leverage the construction market, our favorite name is Nucor. So Nucor, we still have it a buy. We see a lot of cash generation for the next year or two. We see, burning cash for U.S. Steel in contrast. So for this year and next, we still see pretty good construction activity and activity for Nucor. It's really the oversupply, the 20% new capacity or Steel-mageddon in 2021 that gets us nervous. And investors start to anticipate that probably in the next 12 months, if not before.
Timna, we've seen a nice bounce, of course, from December all the way up until the end of the first quarter, really. And then since then, for steel, I mean, in particular, U.S. Steel, letter X. And now we've just seen it sliding, and we've seen nothing but institutions either selling or getting out. Whether they're shorting or not, I don't know, but they're buying a lot of puts, too. So how much further does this, do you have a target that is over the next 6 months another 30% lower as far as the next 6 months rather than the next year?
Yeah, sure. So our price objective is based on the next 12 months, and that's how we came to it. But if you look even beyond that, if you start to look at the 2021 timeframe that I mentioned being particularly challenged, we write in our note that it could be worth closer to $12. If you go beyond that, who knows? But it's just really a function of, do you need to be involved in a company that we think will be really challenged with all the new supply coming on, right? You have some blast furnaces that are over 100 years old, and some of them are U.S. Steel has very old furnaces that they're fixing, but at the same time, some of this new capacity will be state-of-the-art and much more competitive. So we see a changing of the guard, we see a shuffling, and the winners at the end of the day, not necessarily these older names.